A protest becomes a revolution when the protesters have hope, determination, and unity. This is why sowing division has been the Islamic Republic's recipe for survival for the past 4 decades. They try to turn different groups against each other by invoking ancient hatreds and historical tensions. They do not invent the hate, but they inflame and weaponize it. But now, a 22-year-old Kurdish woman's death at the hand of Iran's morality police has laid waste to 40 years of efforts to put ethnic groups against each other, put men against women, and put the religious against the secular. But against all odds, in a country where division over religion, ethnicity, and gender has been common, many Iranians have somehow put aside their differences and are now united over one goal. Mahsa Amini's death has brought people from all walks of life into the streets all over Iran demanding the end of the regime. Many young women are taking off and burning their hijabs in protest against the Islamic regime. Still, age doesn't seem to be a deterrent for this elderly woman who joined the protest, took off her hijab, and chanted "Death to Khamenei." Neither is being unable to walk, as demonstrated by this woman in a wheelchair, chanting, "Don't be afraid, don't be afraid, we are together." The regime has leveraged Iranians' strong desire to protect their borders to scare people about the potential success of Kurdish separatist groups, and try to convince Iranians that irrespective of any disagreements they might have with the regime is worth supporting to safeguard Iran's borders. Such propaganda has seemed to have had little effect on non-Kurdish protesters across Iran who chant in support of Kurdish Iranians. One of these chants states that Kurdistan is beloved by all of Iran. But even more critical is the chant, "Woman, Life, Freedom," which is Kurdish in origin. This chant has reflected the spirit of the protest and captured the attention of people worldwide. The Kurdish origin of the main chant, shouted by Kurdish and non-Kurdish Iranians, highlights the unity among protesters. Another chant was heard from Turkish Iranians showing their support for Kurdish Iranians, which translates to "Azerbaijan is awake and it is in support and a refuge for Kurdistan." Despite all the laws and regulations that pit them against one another, Iranian men and women come together to show the regime that a desire for freedom transcends genders and ancient norms. In this tweet, an Iranian woman says, "Were these men non-mahram? These men who give blood for my hair and my freedom?" In Iran, we are told that non-mahram is someone from the opposite sex that you must conceal yourself from. Another tweet says, "All this time they try to instill in our heads that we must comply with hijab standards in front of a non-mahram. Were these men non-mahram? These men who are giving blood for our freedom?" The 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran also divided people along religious lines. In my childhood, I was introduced to this dichotomy. I was exposed to more liberal-minded and anti-regime friends and family, and a very religious pro-regime attempt at my brainwashing by school and media. Being religious seemed to go hand in hand with being pro-regime. Yet, more and more religious people have been joining the anti-regime ranks for the past few years. These demonstrations have exposed this trend. Among the people who have been arrested are many religious people, including women who wear the chador. The chador is a type of hijab that more religious women wear in Iran. In this video, a religious man cries out to other religious men by invoking their passion for the injustice inflicted on Imam Hussein to now rise and stand against the injustice done to Mahsa. He shouts, If you don't come out today, you're one and the same as those who betrayed Imam Hussein. If you don't come out today, you will not be able to look Imam Hussein in the eyes in the afterlife.
اگه امروز نیایم بیرون، امروز دقیقا مثل واقعه کربلا. اگه امروز نیایی بیرون میشی کوفی، میشی لشکر معاویه، همونایی که لعنت و نفرین بهشون میدادیم، همونایی که با کارهایی که کردن خون گریه میکردیم. امروز نیایی بیرون، اون دنیا نمیتونی تو روی امام حسین نگاه کنی.
In another video, a former TV presenter for the regime starts by reminding people of the upcoming anniversary of Prophet Muhammad's demise and Imam Hassan's martyrdom. He does so while showing respect for the Prophet, demonstrating his religious sentiments. He then follows by warning protesters that government agents plan to silence protesters by burning the Quran and pulling chadors from women while pretending to be anti-regime protesters themselves. His warning is already an obvious indication that he supports the protesters, but he makes it even more apparent when he includes himself among the protesters by saying, "We are fighting for freedom." In this final beautiful video that perfectly captures the message of unity, you can hear men chant, "Woman, life, freedom," and the women respond, "Man, nation, prosperity." No matter the class, religion, ethnicity, or gender, Iranians are standing together. It's your turn to stand with them. Share this video and use the English and Persian hashtag Mahsa Amini to bring attention to what's happening in Iran. I have both of these hashtags in the description below. I appreciate your support.